Hey guys, I think this is gonna go up on a Tuesday when I do my Talk Tuesday videos. But if you guys are new, my name is Maddie. I'm 19, so just so you know, I feel like that's important to say before I start giving out all of this advice. Maybe it gives me some cred. I want to come at this video as a standpoint of kind of like an older sister advice, things I wish I would have known. Yeah, and I think I could even make more videos about this, going in depth on certain things like yeast infections and UTIs and how they're treated and signs of them and all of that. So this is going to be just like some basic tips of like, hey, you have a vagina. So first of all, I think that if you are, I would say older than like 11, I guess this is appropriate for you. Probably a little older though, like 13. This is aimed more towards girls that have started puberty, but some of the first tips especially are really useful for just any girl. So let's just get into this. So the first thing I want to talk about is the type of underwear you wear. It can be so important to your health down there. And I know, y'all, I have a lot of cute underwear. I have a lot of cute thongs and like the cheeksters and lace and spandex and all of this. The thing is that your downstairs area does not give a flip about how cute you want to look. And it is best to wear cotton granny panties. They do make cotton thongs. The issue with those is that thongs just tend to move around a lot and they can cause bacteria from your anus area to transfer to your vagina, which is not good. I've never had that issue, but that is something that can occur. And so yes, I understand with certain outfits like dresses and pantsuits you have to wear a thong, and that's fine. So what I would recommend, if you want to wear your cute underwear, wear your cute underwear, but maybe not all day. Like when you get home, maybe change into some loose shorts or granny panties. Also, like I said, wear your thong, come home, change, simple as that. Also, if you are older, maybe save your cute underwear just for like sexy time. I know it can feel really good to just wear cute underwear during the day and you feel really good about yourself, but especially when it's hot and humid during the summer months, it is not good, and this can lead to yeast infections and just general irritation in that area, and that's never fun. You never want to do that, so don't. The next tip I have is let your girl breathe at night. Your vagina is not meant to be enclosed all the time, I promise you. So this is something where some of you that are maybe younger are gonna be like, oh my god, what? But this is something that is so useful. So let it breathe at night. I would suggest either wearing loose shorts or nothing. If you share a room or, you know, that kind of thing, it can be harder to just wear nothing. Something I would do when I would wear nothing, I found out how beneficial it is. Like, it just felt better down there overall. It feels really good too to sleep naked, or at least bottomless or even topless, but is I would put shorts like right next to my bed, so as soon as like someone came and woke me up in the morning, I would just grab them, put them on under my blanket. This is something that is just important. Wear some loose basketball shorts or wear nothing down there. That's the best. It's really not good to sleep in underwear. I normally don't. I know the like trend is to wear big t-shirts and just underwear, and that's like so bad. And even like tight pajama shorts, it needs to breathe at some points. And I know it's like self-cleaning and all of that, but it still needs to breathe, as my mom always called it. I cannot stress this enough, ladies. I understand that some women are able to shave up, but this is a sensitive area on your body, and I would just suggest shaving down. I find the most like shaving down. Use shaving cream. They make shaving cream specifically for down there. The bikini zone's my favorite. Use a nice razor or like a fresh throwaway razor. Shave down. Also be careful. I have cut myself down there. I would suggest going slow. This is not a race. This is not something you want to rush. There are a lot of like twists and turns down there, so just go slow, shave down. That's all I can suggest. Obviously, we're getting into tips. One tip I want to give you before you leave, if you're younger, is just to wipe down. Wipe front to back. Like if you're sitting on the toilet and here's your legs, front to back. So important. But back to the shaving. Yeah, you obviously have to have hair to shave. Wiping down though, again, keeps from spreading. I don't think a lot of girls realize that your anus, your butthole, is really close to your vagina. And if you take that bacteria, even if you haven't pooped, and just drag it all the way up, that can lead to vaginal infections. It can lead to UTIs. That is just not something you're supposed to do. Wipe down, girlfriend. Okay? So this is something super important. Do not get soap in your urethra, which is your pee hole or your vagina. It's not meant to go up there, no matter what kind of soap you have, ever. It can burn. It'll burn your urethra, and this can happen if you take a loofah and you scrub too hard down there. I do use a loofah down there, but you have to be gentle. Also, I would find it's best to, again, rub down when you use a loofah, not up. And you want to make sure you rinse thoroughly before getting out of the shower, because again, it can be irritating, and I'll get to soap in a second. But you also don't want to get water in there. So this is one of those things I learned the hard way, and I'm just going to bare my soul a little bit. I feel like all women kind of go through a phase, especially younger women. I mean, you're a woman now, you've hit puberty, where you just want to feel clean. Maybe you're having a lot of discharge, your vagina's cleaning itself, or maybe it's almost time for your period, you can have discharge, and maybe it doesn't smell great, or you've been sweating, and you're just like, I just want a clean vagina. And we'll maybe put the shower head too close, or we'll scrub too hard in the bath. What I am getting at is that water does not belong in your vagina or your urethra. It's pretty easy to get it in your vagina if you just take the shower head. Mine was just like rubbing it too much. And the thing is that if you do this and dry it out and get rid of all the good bacteria, it's going to start the self-cleaning process all over again, because you didn't help, you just hurt it. So it's something you just have to get used to, and the more you just let your body do its thing, it will figure it out, and it will, I mean, honestly, since I've kind of just let my body do its thing, I have less discharge than before when I was trying to control the discharge, as weird as that sounds. And the discharge is not a bad thing. It's your vagina cleaning itself, which is really cool, because if it didn't, that would just be bad. I don't even want to imagine, because like after a period, if it didn't clean itself out like periodically and all that, you would only get cleaned out on your period, and that's just an area that needs to be cleaned out. So this is something that I struggled with. We had a hot tub, and I kept on getting yeast infections from the hot tub. Also baths, and this new craze of bath bombs. Okay, great. The only issue is that those are mostly scented. They can have glitter, dye, and you're putting your vagina in a bath with these products. And I'm sure some women are completely fine. Me, I can't take baths, period, much less adding some things to it. So what I would suggest, if you are a girl that tends to struggle with these things, I know a lot of people are like, take probiotics and all of this, but what it comes down to is that your body is trying to tell you, I don't like this. It's messing up your pH. You're just not, that's bad stuff is getting in, or it's irritating you, and it's just not meant to be. I can swim just fine in a regular pool. I can go in hot tubs periodically. I can take baths periodically if I need to, but I know to stay away from those products. Like I said, some women are fine. It just really depends. These things can also lead to UTIs if you get the water inside of your urethra, which is again your pee hole. And that's just something to be careful of. If you notice you get a yeast infection or a UTI, the best thing to do is just hop on over to the doctor. For UTIs, they give an antibiotic. Yeast infections, Fluconase. I actually have some extra pills. It like gets rid of it, but it's not an antibiotic. But something to keep in mind. This is something I didn't understand. This is gonna sound crazy. This is why it's best to just take care of yourself. So I would get a UTI, go in, be like, hey, I got a UTI, test my urine, they find bacteria, and then they would put me on an antibiotic. Well, I'm on birth control to regulate my period. Birth control stops working, I get my period. Antibiotics make your birth control stop working. I should make a whole video about like things you didn't know about sex and birth control. But anyway, it makes your birth control ineffective. So I get my period, and then most of the time when I put on an antibiotic, I get a yeast infection. So I'm bleeding pretty badly. I am, because normally antibiotics, I quit taking my birth control for 4 days. Normally antibiotics are 5 to 7 days, so I'm off it longer. My body's like, what the fuck? You're not supposed to be getting a period right now. This is not okay. I'm on continuous dosing, so I get a period about every 2 months. So if you screwed up, like, yeah, my body was just angry. And then you get a yeast infection, so I'm trying to put tampons in because I'm bleeding, but I have a yeast infection and a UTI, so it burns when I pee, and now my pee is yellow. So and then I'm still on antibiotics, and then I'm on something to help the yeast infection, but I'm still bleeding. Ladies, just take care of yourself so that doesn't happen. That's happened to me like 3 times, and it's just the worst time of my life. I don't feel good. I'm itchy and uncomfortable down there the whole time. Like, both holes are angry. I'm bleeding, like my urethra and my vagina. So just don't do it. Another thing I feel like a lot of young people don't understand, but this happens to young girls, you can be put on birth control simply to regulate your period. It is common. It's not something I would necessarily flaunt, but it's something to feel ashamed of. Like I said, I wouldn't go out and tell everyone because some people simply won't understand, but you shouldn't have to feel embarrassed about it if it's something you're taking for medical reasons. And if you are 14 and decide to be sexually active, that is your choice. I'm gonna make a whole nother video on sex, I swear. So yes, that's something. I could also make a video about my experience on all of my different birth controls, because I've been on, this is my 7th oral pill, and then I've also taken the Depo shot, and I can go into why my period's so bad, why I got put on it, and all of that, and I think that'd be really interesting to film. So let me know if you guys want to see that. Actually, just give this video a thumbs up, and I'll know. I'm actually gonna write that down so I remember. Okay, this is something that, oh, it scared me. I feel like makes sense, but then you do it anyway. So this tip is to not sit in wet bottoms. So if you go swimming and you just want to hang out with your friends, and I know we've all done that, where we sit in the swimsuit until it's dry and then like whatever, please do not do this. Again, it needs to breathe. It's not meant to be wet. Your vagina is already a wet, dark place, which is a breeding ground for bacteria, and adding more moisture and chemicals that are just sitting there, especially on your sensitive skin down there, would not recommend. It doesn't matter what kind of water you've been in. Another thing is, if you get super sweaty and you're in even in cotton, you should probably change them, or especially if you're in like spandex material that is just going to like the moisture. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, change. Most girls have an abundance of underwear, just change. And granny panties are super cheap for a pack at Walmart. I love my granny panties. They're my favorite. So, like, I'm wearing some shorts right now that have, they're like the athletic shorts with the built-in underwear. If I were to sweat in these, I normally wear granny panties underneath them in the summer, and if I sweat, because if you sweat in like the spandex, that's not good. Okay. If you guys are not aware, a douche is basically putting water up your vagina and letting it rinse. You don't need to douche. Like I said, if you rinse everything out, your body has to start making new bacteria, and it has to start the cleaning process over, and that's just, you will be trying to, you will basically do the opposite of what you're trying to accomplish. Everyone has a natural scent down there. I know I used to get super freaked out, and I'm going to get into how you can kind of help that, but it's normal, and if you douche, you'll probably just make it worse for a little bit while your vagina starts to balance things out. It's not meant to have water up there with frilly scents, and it's not needed. It is not needed. It is okay. I promise. As a female, hi, I have vagina, and I have tried a lot of different soaps for down there. I find that Bath and Body Works soaps irritate a little bit. You know, it's just really scented and dyed, obviously. I have found that feminine washes are really like jello-y, like silicone-y, and I found that I feel very like oily afterwards, and I feel like they didn't really clean. They kind of just made my skin oily. Does that make sense? And it is important to clean the outside Like I said, you're getting sweaty, there's stuff, da 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 da. The best down there wash that I have found is baby wash. So you just take it, use it, you know, don't get any inside of you, for the love of God. But it's not gonna like completely F up your pH down there. It's very like mild. It's made for babies, and it doesn't irritate me. You don't want to scrub down there too much, you know, just get a little bit of soap, wash it. I would recommend using your hand. Washcloths and loofahs can be kind of abrasive. I mean, it's your parts. So, and normally I'll just wash my butt with that too, so there's no soap in that area, and then I am left feeling clean. Baby wash smells nice. So, and it's not, yeah, I like it. You guys should definitely try it. You can get it at the Dollar Tree for $1. You can get it at Walmart, I'm sure, for like $2. So, that is what I would recommend. You can also use it to take off your makeup in the shower. That's super useful. So if you're a girl and, you know, you're like 13 and you're afraid to tell your mom you want it for your vagina, you can just tell her that you want to use it to take your makeup off, or you can also just use it as a body wash. Something they have feminine perfume. So I can get behind like feminine wipes for down there. Sometimes I have used those in the past. I don't use them super regularly, and normally I'm going to shower that night, so it's not the end of the world. Normally they're scented though, which I don't understand why. Baby wipes work great down there also. You can't flush them though, so don't flush them. But sometimes you're on road trips and it just gets like, you get swamp ass, you know, where it's sweaty and gross, and then your vagina is like suffering. So just front to back, feminine wipes or baby wipes. And I can get behind, I have like this Summer's Eve baby powder, as I have just baby powder for in the summer. It just helps absorb the moisture. That I can get behind. Just put a little on your underwear. Great, cool. I cannot get behind feminine sprays for down there. Why would you spray chemicals onto such a sensitive area? I would not recommend doing this. I've never tried it. I know though some girls have like Febreze their vaginas. Oh my god, that went around my school, like that poor girl. And I know some people have just tried to spray perfume. So this is like a sexy time talk. Hate to break it to you. I would recommend, if you do want to smell pleasant, to, you know, use baby wash, all of those things. And normally if you do put something scented down there with your regular scent, it's just going to smell weird. Learn this from experience as well. We're not going to talk about how. But like if you use a super scented soap down there, one, it's going to irritate it, and then two, it's just going to smell like flowers and vagina, and that's just like really weird. I'd rather just have vagina. So if you do want to have a pleasant smell coming from that area for a sexy time, spray in between your thighs and put some perfume on each thigh. Works like a charm. Something that is so important for vaginal health as well as urinary tract health is just drinking enough water. This will help with your odor. I hate when it's called odor. It's like a scent. That sounds weird. The smell of your vajayjay. It will help with the smell. Overall, it's going to help with the cleaning process. It's just going to be great overall. If you are diagnosed with a yeast infection or UTI, drink tons of water. I've also seen this hack where people will put yogurt in their vagina when they have a yeast infection. I would not recommend that because there is normally sugar in yogurt because it's pasteurized milk, and pasteurized milk means it's converted to sugar inside of your body, or it can just contain sugar. I mean, if you look at it, literally says sugar, and that's just going to make your yeast infection worse. Don't do that. Please do not ever. No, you can eat yogurt if you have a yeast infection, but don't put it in your vagina. I don't know why I keep seeing that. That is the worst idea ever. Anyway, so these are two that are very out there, but I do want to say, so just a warning, but I feel like even if you are 14, 15, whatever, however old you are, and even if you're not planning on having sex, I feel like these are still useful tips for the future or for right now. So masturbation is a thing. I didn't think I would get awkward about this. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're educating the internet of young girls. Masturbation is common. 13, 14, 15-year-old girls, don't feel weird. I know I was always like, I am the only one. I'm the only one. No, you're not. You're not special. Like, I was embarrassed about it. It's completely normal. You get horny, you ovulate, you know, you got hormones. Do your thing, girl. Do your thing. Okay. I mean, guys do it all the time. They're really proud of it. Just, it's natural, it's normal, it's safer than sex. But something I want to stress to you is that if you are gonna touch down there, to have clean hands. Go in, make sure underneath your nails are clean, make sure your hands are clean, so that way you're not introducing germs down there. I would also recommend, if you do decide to put things down there, I'm not going to give any ideas. Y'all are creative though. I was creative. Even if you're older, sex toys, just make sure they're clean. They make specific soap for these things, for sex toys. If you're a younger girl though and you want to clean something, I would not recommend using anything like Germex. That's really harsh, depending on what it is. I cannot believe I'm giving this advice, but I feel like it's so important. Depending on what it is, I would use probably like baby soap. If it's something that needs to be more disinfected, maybe Dawn dish soap, and then make sure it's rinsed really well, so it doesn't smell like soap. But I wouldn't use bleach, or I wouldn't use hand soap because that's scented. I wouldn't use body soap that's scented. None of that. So, and this is a tip for my friends that are sexually active, and that is to pee after sex. This is something that's so important. So you've just been touching down there, stuff has occurred, and there is the chance for a lot of new germs and just a lot, and your pee hole is right underneath your clit. Okay, your urethra is right underneath your clitoris. I'm trying to use the correct terminology. So, and you should probably pee after masturbation. If you're rubbing it, you're rubbing right by that pee hole. And this is where it's important to wash your hands. And then also, even if your clit is not touched, it's good just to pee to help cleanse the area. Yes, you're getting also, yeah. Just highly recommend. So I know I got kind of awkward towards the end, and I'm sorry. This is sometimes just hard things to talk about. I do hope that if you are a younger girl, you have a trusted adult in your life that you can go to with questions and issues. If it does itch or burn down there, it's probably just a UTI or a yeast infection. Do not always assume STD. With mine, I wasn't even sexually active at the time, and my first yeast infection, and I assumed it was an STD. Makes sense, honestly. What? So, yeah, I hope you guys found these useful. They're pretty basic things, and I feel like some videos you watch may tell you different things, and that's fine. You have to just find what works for you. I take a more natural approach. I think Max has to go outside. To my body and to down there, and I like to just kind of let it do its thing. You know, your body is made to regulate itself. It's made to take care of itself, especially down there. So just let it do its thing. So I really hope you guys found this video useful. It's something I've never quite filmed something like this, but I kind of would like to get more education out there about these things, because I go to school in Texas, so I'm in the South, and it's more conservative schooling. So even in sex ed and health class, we aren't taught a lot of really useful things. I mean, I wouldn't expect them to be like pee after sex, but like there's things we're just not taught. We are taught abstinence instead of like safe sex. So I feel education is the greatest tool we can give our kids. And I mean, I don't have kids, but when I say kids, I mean like teens, young teens, simply because I was educated and it made me, I was aware of the risks. I was aware of the chances, you know, everything, and but I was also comfortable in my own body when it did happen. So that I feel like there's a lot of benefit. Like 2 of my dad's cousins were given purity rings, and then they were pregnant as teens, and I'm not pregnant. So I think that abstinence is something that you can teach your children, like waiting until marriage, but I think it also is important to not make them feel alienated in their own body. They need to be educated on their body parts. You teach them how to clean their teeth and wash their hair, and you teach them how to moisturize their body and how to eat correctly and just take care of themselves overall. But we always leave out that one part, I feel like, and that's not something we should be doing, because it's an important part. And we all have them. I mean, half the population does at least. And so that's why I kind of want to start making these videos just from like an older sister point of view. I don't have advice for guys. Sorry, I'm not a dude. But yeah, I think that it's important to just be educated, know how your own body works, what it's doing. And I hope that I don't offend anyone. I am not promoting sex. If you want to wait until marriage, that's so great. And yeah, so I want to get education out there so that there is no one, you know, ending up with an STD or a pregnancy or like a really, really bad yeast infection that they didn't have to sit through. So that's just the point of these videos. I am not trying to parent anyone or step in and be like, have sex. Totally not this. I actually should make a video on sex just in general. So, but yeah, I really hope to see you guys at my next video. And like I said, I hope I didn't offend anyone. I'm just trying to educate people on their bodies. So, alright, bye guys.